Hi, I'm Gary Kim, the editor of Mobile Marketing and Technology, and I'm here today with Ross Bubtrock, who's a founder and principal of Arent Fox.
Arent Fox, yep.
Okay, which means you're one of the owners.
I'm one of the owners. I'm the head of the communications, technology, and content group.
Okay, so here's a logical question for people who are looking at mobile commerce, mobile payments, mobile apps. Why is communications law regulation important to them as they think about building their business models and then operating them?
Yeah, I think it's important because people in Washington are thinking about it. Regulators are thinking about it. People in Congress are thinking about it. And the way that a lot of these issues gain currency is sometimes the Attorney General, gets a question from a constituent, or a congressman's son, comes home with some unexpected charge on a cell phone bill. So sometimes personal experience plays a role. But other times, it's just like, I think everyone understands that the mobile economy is going to be driving a lot of the, is going to be a big part of the economy. And so I think that as these issues gain currency with the public, the regulators and the representatives in DC start to take notice. And so that happens in a bunch of different ways, but those are a couple.
Would it be incorrect to say that in many cases the federal government, the FCC, regulatory bodies can actually create or destroy an entire business model?
That's absolutely true. I mean, I think the biggest problem that the FCC and Congress has is that the law and the regulations can't keep up with the technology. The technology and the problems and the challenges and the legal questions that are presented by the way the technology is deployed, it's happening so quickly that by the time the regulators get to doing their jobs as they perceive them, they use some pretty blunt instruments. And so yes, they can make or break a business model, even though they're fond of saying that they don't pick winners and losers. They absolutely pick winners and losers every day with some big and small decisions.
So if we see Google dramatically beefing up its Washington staff, Microsoft doing the same, that probably is a tip-off that the government's going to have a bigger role in what traditionally we thought of as a non-regulated business than we have seen before.
True. I mean, until probably, I'd say 5 to 8 years ago, guys in Silicon Valley ignored Washington because they said, we're out here doing all this innovative stuff, we're building and innovating, and kind of the regulations don't matter. But I think as patent litigation has become an issue, as any number of kind of consumer-oriented regulations have become issues, they've started to take notice that in fact they need to have a voice at the table. And in fact, both Microsoft has had a pretty big Washington presence for some time. Google has got a big office in DC now, and they're engaged. Facebook has a big office that's expanding. So there's engagement, and I think that there's certainly recognition by technologists and app developers and other folks that what's happening in DC can affect them, whether they like it or not.
Needless to say, that's what you do.
That is what we do. We help innovators and people who are entrepreneurs kind of at every level of, from startup to protecting their IP to, litigation to responding to, AG inquiries or inquiries from the FCC. In addition to taking, defensive postures and helping people defend themselves, we can help people carry their messages in an affirmative way and help the regulators understand, kind of what is happening out there. And there's plenty of regulators that are absolutely very interested in that type of information. They want to be helpful if they can, and they need to be educated. And there's a big education job there. So we talk to folks in Congress, we talk to the FTC, we talk to the FCC, we deal with state regulators. We kind of cover every aspect of the mobile ecosystem, and with every kind of legal and regulatory issue that might arise.
Great. Thanks, Ross.
Thank you.
And thanks for watching.